Good non-specific time of day. Party people, thanks for tuning in. It is Wednesday. It is time to get real, all up in this deal. My name, of course, is Andrew Fantasia. Welcome back. As always, if you enjoyed this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up and give some love to that subscribe button as well. Now, this week, I'm going to need you to do me a favor, and that favor is if you have been calling me Andrew Fantasia all this time, I need you to stop that because we are Venom now. Sorry, I just saw that Venom trailer, and I gotta admit, as much as I am cautious as hell about this movie, that Venom trailer was pretty damn fun. He eats people. I think it goes without saying that this flesh-hungry, insane, powerful, bad, but not necessarily evil character is what fans wanted to see back in the Spider-Man 3 days, and of course we did not get that. Instead we got Topher Grace with sharp teeth. Now, of course, this is a whole new ballgame. This trailer looked fantastic. I have made my thoughts on this upcoming film very clear in that I think it is going to be a steaming hot mess along the lines of X-Men Origins Wolverine. And that still could be the case. But I will say that X-Men Origins Wolverine never had a trailer as cool and as fun as this Venom trailer. This was one of the best trailers of the year for me. There were so many cool shots of just Venom doing what we want to see him do, particularly this great one where Eddie Brock is like getting up off the street. He's been knocked over and he doesn't get up himself. The symbiote pushes him back up to a standing position. That is gorgeous, man. That is the kind of Venom stuff I want to see. And then to top it off, we have all these great moments with the symbiote actually speaking in the Venom voice. We get to hear it for the first time. Not sure if I love Tom Hardy's New York accent yet. It's pretty out there. It's pretty rough. My name is Eddie Brock. I'm a reporter. I don't know if I can handle a whole movie hearing that. So hopefully he's Venom a lot. But what we saw here, particularly with all the, threatening to eat people's body parts, that's Venom. I've read very few comics with Venom in them, but the ones that I have, he's been like that. He's like, I'm going to munch on your brains, and then I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do that. It all involved ingesting body parts, more or less. So the fact that he eats this store robber's face in this final moment of the trailer is excellent. And the fact that we get that great split thing that happened in the comics so many times where we see Brock and he's in there a little bit, but Venom is otherwise in control. We also got our first look at one of the enemy symbiotes. You can see here it's kind of a quick flash of him, but he's got the big axes in a very Carnage-esque manner. Now I really hope this is not Carnage, because that would be a X-Men Origins Wolverine move. What I mean by that is Carnage is a red person, and this symbiote is very gray. If they were smart, they would save Carnage and make him red, because why not? What's wrong with making him red? X-Men Origins Wolverine would have made everybody gray, because that's what that movie's all about, is let's tone down everything. But it looks really, really fun, and I'm very glad that Sony seems to be doubling down on the sheer monstrousness of this character. Well done. We finally got our first look at another great hero, Linda Hamilton, who is coming back as Sarah Connor for this unnamed Terminator 6 movie. We finally got a beautiful screenshot of her and the other two main characters in the film. Mackenzie Davis as Grace and Natalia Reyes as Danny Ramos. Now, apart from this just being a really badass picture of these three characters, it's also very telling, because if you look closely at Mackenzie Davis, she's got some kind of biocircuitry electrics going on her body, so it's safe to assume she may in fact be of the cyborg persuasion. If that's the case, this would be a cool new spin on a character. She is half machine, so maybe she's not completely robotic and, talking like this all the time, but she may be strong enough to go fist to fist with a Terminator. And if that's the case, this guy is a happy guy. The other character of Danny Ramos is apparently, according to some rumors I've heard, going to take over as sort of the new main hero of the franchise, in which case this is going to be kind of her origin story, and I guess Sarah Connor is going to pass the cybernetic torch onto her. But of course, the main event is Linda Hamilton herself as Sarah Connor, and she looks pretty much exactly like we all pictured Sarah would look, X amount of years down the line. And it's fantastic. I can't wait to see what this lady brings to the table, how she closes out this iconic character. It sounds like those little movies called Terminator 3, Terminator Salvation, Terminator Genesis are ignored. This is just gonna continue after Judgment Day. I guess I'm fine with that. I mean, 3 was fun, 4 was not fun, half of Genesis was fun. I don't know. I mean, you have time travel in your story, so I think it's a very easy way to fix things that didn't work and elaborate on things that did. But the good thing is Terminator 3, Salvation, and Genesis are not going anywhere, and you can always watch them if you loved and enjoyed them. But personally, I am looking forward to this new timeline. Bring on Terminator 6, bring on Sarah Connor once again. And of course, we all know that Arnold Schwarzenegger himself is not far from the horizon. He's coming. He's coming for us. Scott Derrickson is the man behind the Doctor Strange movie, and he is going to be the man behind the Doctor Strange movie sequel when that becomes a thing. But right now, we're a bit more focused on Infinities and Spider-Mans and this to really focus too much on Doctor Strange, but it is an eventuality. And Mr. Scott Derrickson took to Twitter recently and posted this very enigmatic photo with this even more enigmatic caption. Now, this is barely a story, and we're not going to linger too much on it, but it is massive fuel for speculation. This whole see you in September thing tells me that we might get some new announcements or news or something about Doctor Strange 2. It's only fair. The movie's already almost 2 years old. The sequel can't be that far away. What do you think? Does this foretell the coming of another strange adventure? I personally hope it does. I think the world of magic and mayhem that was explored in Doctor Strange is rife for more exploration, and I can't wait to see where they go next. Some movie called Star Wars Episode 9 is about to begin principal photography. Now, if you're following the Star Wars world like I am, and you're obsessed with it like I am, and you may or may not have tattoos of it on private areas of your body like I do, scratch that last part, then you are probably already aware that Episode 9 is going to take place an indeterminate amount of time after Episode 8, but it is going to be a significant jump in time. We're thinking maybe 1 or 2 years of story time, unlike the gap between Episode 7 and 8, which was hours. But that's the exception. All other Star Wars movies have always had years of time between them. And one of the main reasons for that is because you can change the characters' looks from movie to movie. And when a character looks different than they did in the last movie, what does that mean? It means you sell more toys. And we Star Wars fans like to buy toys. It's just a thing we do. Now, Star Wars The Last Jedi did not have great toy sales. One of those reasons being the characters didn't really look all that different because it was such an instant jump from one movie to the next. However, because this is going to have a time jump, characters are going to look different and therefore probably sell more toys. And now, for the first time, because cameras are about to roll, we may in fact know how one of those characters is gonna look. One of the new actresses joining Star Wars Episode 9 is Naomi Ackie, and everybody's favorite stormtrooper, John Boyega, took to Instagram and took a picture of himself hugging Naomi Ackie and welcoming her into the Star Wars family. Now, this picture comes right on the heels of, like I said, principal photography, which is about to start for Star Wars Episode 9. And as you can see, Finn's hair is quite a bit longer than we've ever seen it. Now, this could just be nothing, This could just be the cast is getting together, and then the next day he goes into makeup and wardrobe, and they're like, okay, let's go, shave the head, back to normal looking Finn. But I think that this is it. I think this is how his hair is going to look, because as a stormtrooper, as a military man working for the Mighty First Order, yeah, he would have had to shave that dome and get it all nice and clean cut, because that's military precision, and Captain Phasma, probably had some strict policies regarding hairdos, but now he's a rebel, and in the midnight hour, she cried more. That's the extent of what I know about what rebels do. However, I also know that rebels tend to be a little bit more lax with both uniform and grooming. In this case, Finn, as a rebel, no longer needs to have a perfectly shaved face and head, and he can, let that hair grow out as long as he wants. Stranger things have happened in the Star Wars universe when it comes to body hair. So I think that this is legit. I think that we are seeing, for the first time, a sneak peek of Finn's new look. Personally, I like it. I'll buy that toy. You've already got me, Star Wars. You've already got me. As long as this outfit is cool. If the toy is just the same outfit as before, but with a new hairdo, I'm probably not going to spend the money. But if he's got a cool new outfit, sure. Why not? Welcome aboard. What do you think, fans young and old? Do you think this truly is Finn's new hairdo? Let me know in the comments below. Jeff Wadlow is the name of a fellow who directed a few movies, including Kick-Ass 2 and Truth or Dare. Now, that doesn't sound like the greatest resume, but he is, a very competent director, and he has just landed a project that has this guy very intrigued. According to a report from THR, Jeff Wadlow has been signed on as a director for a project helmed by Sony and Blumhouse that involves a reboot of Fantasy Island. Yeah, that's a thing. That combo that I just said is a thing that's happening. Now, I'm a big fan of Fantasy Island. I love that show to death. Surprisingly, you'd think that formula could get old after 7 seasons, but you know what? You just pop in any episode and it still feels fresh and exciting. Now, the idea of it working as a movie is something else entirely. I don't know if it's possible to do Fantasy Island as a movie. I guess it is. It would just be one giant fantasy as opposed to like a bunch of little ones, but still, color me intrigued. Blumhouse is a production company that is known for making wise decisions, so they wouldn't back just any horse. The fact that they have their fingers in this pot tells me that this is something special. This isn't just another, bland adaptation from TV to film, like the Bewitched movie or something like that. This is something that's going to break the mold. My only concern now is who the hell do you get to replace Ricardo Montalban and Hervé Villechaize? Rourke and Tattoo are the most iconic TV personalities of the 1970s, as far as I'm concerned. How do you replace them? I have no idea. I can't even begin to fathom what they're going to do with this, but I'm excited. And I'll tell you what, I'll be the first one there opening day to check out Fantasy Island the movie whenever it hits theaters. Just a little FYI though for you, Sony and Blumhouse. If this movie does not contain the words Zipplane, Zipplane, a lot of people are gonna be bummed. Just take that into consideration. But that has been Real Deal for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Of course, as always, chime in the comments. Let me know what you think of all these crazy news stories. I'm always eager to hear what folks have to say about all the crap I talk about. Thank you so much for tuning in. I will see you here next time, and until then, adios.